All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the first LEGO League Explore Coaches Clinic with First RGV. My name is Jason Arms, and I'm the president of the nonprofit organization here in the Rio Grande Valley. We're joined today by two amazing members of our team, Yolanda Woods, which is a proud board member. She sits on the board of directors for us, and she also has a lot of institutional knowledge when it comes to First LEGO League. And of course, Joseph Beckman, which you'll get to meet him in just a minute. He is your first LEGO League coordinator for this season. Last year, he served as our first LEGO League judge advisor at some of our events, but this year he stepped up and he's going to be heading up the program on our behalf. Today's presentation probably should take about 30 to 45 minutes at the most. We know that your time is important, so we'll try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. At any time, if you have any questions, please post your questions in the chat. If it's a long question, you can always just kind of virtually raise your hand, or you can raise your hand using the participants tab and we'll call on you. Other than that, we're all family here. So don't be afraid to talk over somebody if we need to. Please stay on mute unless you're going to talk. And with that, the last disclaimer is this meeting is being recorded and will be posted publicly on our website and on YouTube. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Joseph Beckman.
All right, next slide, please. So this is our agenda today, just some quick introductions and an overview first. We'll talk about some of the FLL Explore components. And if you were a coach last year, you were calling it FLL Junior. So First Headquarters has now split FLL into 3 different parts. Challenge, which was the normal FLL last year, FLL Explore, which was FLL Junior last year, and they have a pre-K program called FLL Discover. We'll talk some about what is changing this season, how we intend to handle COVID, registration and resources, and take questions at the end. So one thing I want to say up front is in every financial document, there's something called safe harbor. So we're going to be telling you a lot about what we believe the season will be like. With COVID, nobody can be really sure. A lot of the stuff we're going to tell you, we're pretty sure that it's going to come off the way we're going to tell you, but it is not gospel. Next slide, please. My name is Joseph Beckman. I've been in First for about 5 or 6 years. My daughter was in First LEGO League, and that's when I started. I've done some of the next level of robotics called First Tech Challenge, and then the really big robots, the First Robotics Challenge. Last year, my wife and I up here in San Antonio in the Alamo region, were working with somebody to put on an FLL Junior at that time, Expo, and unfortunately it was in the COVID period and everything was suspended by headquarters. But it looked like it was going to be a lot of fun. Yolanda, how about if you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Yolanda Woods. I was born in San Benito and Dolly Vincent Hospital. And I see Bethany knows where that is. It's no longer there. But I moved to San Antonio to finish school, to finish college. And I've been with First probably around, let's see, I can't count. About 12 years, I believe. Worked with FLL when I was the area director for First in Texas and San Antonio, and have had FRC teams, and sponsored some FLL teams and helped them one-on-one. So I want you to know that Jason and his team of Vistas and his first-year mentors are very valuable and very knowledgeable and will be there to help you.
Very good. What else you see on the screen here are our First RGV emails. So you can always email us afterwards or at any time during the season to ask us questions. The general First RGV email support is just support@firstrgv.org. So you can send any question there. If it belongs to me, they'll forward it on to me. If it belongs to Yolanda, they'll forward it on to her. The first advice I want to give any person, any coach in first, is to get some help. So if we were in a room, I would say look left and right at your fellow teachers, use them as a resource because some of them probably have done this before. Some of them will be more knowledgeable in certain areas. Generally, there's at least an assistant coach. So find somebody who can help you. It might be a fellow teacher. I would also look at parents. If you have parents who can help you, you have to be a little bit careful because of course they're a little bit biased when their student is in that, but you can find parents to help you out. Even if you just give them things like, you know what, I know the answers on this website. Please go look at the website, find the answer, do that research so I can get the answer without maybe all the research. My wife and I helped 3 teams out last year at the Lego challenge. It was a lot of fun. I hope we helped the teachers because some of them looked like they needed the help, but all of them could do something else when we were helping out. The other thing, as Yolanda said, is First RGV has some vistas. They can help you out potentially in person if your school or school district allows that, or certainly online. They can certainly do that. And now let's go to the next screen. So if you don't know very much about First headquarters has programs from pre-K all the way through 12th grade. They're all robotics. And what they like to say is, we don't use kids to build robotics. We use robotics to build kids. And the students who go through First, besides learning about robotics, besides learning about coding, they pick up a lot of what we would call soft skills. So that's team management, that's teamwork, it's communications, and it's conflict resolution. And First actually has studies that were done by Brandeis University that shows the increase in that. They have studies that show children who go through First, they want to go to college more than other children, and they want to get into STEM majors more than other children. So it's a really good program, and they've got some really good data to back this up. Tonight, we're talking about FLL Junior or FLL Explorer. It's for grades 2 to 4, about the ages 6 to 10. Coaches are going to come up with a team, at least 2 students, but no more than 6. If you have more than 6, maybe you look at having 2 teams. There's a theme or a challenge that goes along that's different every year. And so if you know what this year's theme is, can you hit the yes on the participants tab to the right? I just want to see how this works. Okay, Yolanda, you hit the yes for me. So I don't see any numbers. So if you look at the slide in the top left, it says PlayMakers. That is the name of the theme for this year. All of the First programs have something to do with games. So the name of the program for FLL Explore is PlayMakers. Every year that's going to change. Headquarters has put together a video that's very nice about the overview, that's very informative about the overview. The person is either from the Ireland or UK, so she has a very nice accent. Jason, if you can go to the next slide and start that video for us. It's about 3 or 4 minutes.
Hi, I'm Demi and I'm from the IET. We're the delivery partners for First Lego League in the UK and Ireland. Wherever you are in the world, we want to welcome you to the First Lego League Explore PlayMakers season. You'll be working towards your in-school, remote or regional festival, and this is a culmination of everything that you've worked towards and your opportunity to celebrate and share your achievements. To prepare for your festival, there's a few things you'll need to do first. Using the guided sessions in your team meeting guide, your team will need to create a team model, a moving element using your We Do, and a Show Me poster. If you've registered for Class Pack, you'll also receive a Class Pack festival guide. This is a great resource to help you run your event in your school. Regardless of the event that you've registered for, on the day you'll meet a group of reviewers. This is your opportunity to communicate your ideas, share your learning, and show off your brilliant programming. A couple of top tips. Number 1, it's a great idea to practice what you might want to say say when you meet your reviewers. Number 2, core values are really important, and this is your opportunity to share with them how well you work together as a team and your amazing team spirit. Once you've met with your reviewers, you might receive one of these, your very own Lego medal. Make sure you show it off at home. This day is all about you and celebrating everything that you've learned. Good luck, have lots of fun, and we'll see you there.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you. So these are what I'm calling the FLL Explore components. The first thing on that is the WeDo 2.0 robot kit. And you saw a little bit from the person in the video. I'm going to go over here to my FLL board and show you this. This is a WeDo kit. It's got the gears and the motor and the controller that actually lets you create that robot. So inside it's got different kind of parts. It's got different gears over here. And then in the bottom, there's a little kit. It's got the wires, it's got a motor and a controller. It makes very simple robots. It's usually used just to make one thing move, not a lot of things like the robots that you might see in the follow-on programs. This kit you typically buy just once and then you reuse it from year to year. Every year, according to the challenge, you will get a separate Inspire kit. This is from a couple years ago. This was Mission Moon. It shows you inside, it'll have instructions. The year this came out, you were supposed to make this rocket. So my wife had done this. So this was her rocket. It's got a little handle and it makes the flames come out. Now you could attach a motor to that so it would be done automatically with the motor. When you're doing this, you will also build some other things. So she built some different models here that you can see. Last year it was about building. So she made some different buildings there just as exemplars for students to look at and think about things that they could do. The Inspire kit you buy every year because the theme is different every year. When you get your package, one of the things you'll get are those engineering notebooks. These are to document the individual work done by the children, and it gets them used to writing down their ideas, writing down what they thought was going to happen and what actually happened. The other part for this is a show me poster. I call it a show me poster. This is made by the team every year, and it kind of shows the research they did, the problem, the specific problem they chose, and then their solution to that. And that's to present their research collaboratively with that team poster. One thing about FIRST that I really like is they have something called core values. So there's 6 of them. I just know the names of them: discovery, impact, inclusion, teamwork, and have fun. So you will see those. Those are also used in First LEGO League Challenge. And then all of the students for all of the programs are supposed to follow those. One thing I really like about the FIRST programs is the teams can help each other, and it's not as a zero-sum competitive, I'm going to win and you're going to lose. So it really makes the children very nice to work with. Now, when you have all of this done, one of the things that they will do is they will go to, it's not really a competition, we call it an expo. I think they might have called it a festival there in Ireland or the UK. What the children do there is they'll take their robot kit, their model that they made, they'll take the show me poster, the whole team goes, they set up generally on a little table. There's a period of time where the different teams will come up and they'll look to see what other teams have done. And then the students can talk to each other about, here's the problem that I used, here's how we solved it, here's our model, and show them that kind of stuff. there's also a review process, and that's where the team takes their show me poster and their model, and they go in front of some reviewers, and now they tell the reviewers about their problem, how they researched it, the solution they came up with. They could show them the engineering notebooks or anything else they have. When all of that is done, then they come back together at closing ceremonies and they will have awards. So the FLL Explorer, the FLL Junior, is the only program other than maybe Discover where every child gets an award. So every child will get one of 4 awards. There's like 4 different categories that you can be awarded for. Every child will get something. And now if we go to the next slide. So this year, we are not planning to have a live in-person expo because of COVID. So part of what's going to change this year is how schools and coaches work with teams. I know a little bit about the districts up here. I don't know your schools. I don't know your districts. You have to know how you're going to work with the team, whether you can have limited in-person ability to work or if it all has to be remote. Some of that I'm sure is going to change because your school district is going to tell you, here's what we think we're going to do. Something's going to change and it's going to make them change their plans. So no in-person expo this year. We will have a virtual expo. So watch the website for the date on this. It'll be early in 2021. We'll probably also post an email or a newsletter. And what we will do is invite the teams on a certain day to come to Zoom and maybe have separate rooms so that they can be in and have half of them be able to visit one half and then flip that so that in Zoom, you can go and visit different teams and they can show you the poster and they can talk about it. Also, as part of that Zoom, we would do the review. So at that point, we would invite a team in to the reviewers. They would talk on Zoom. They might get a little bit of feedback. They would go out and another team would come in. At the end of that, there would still be a closing ceremony with awards. Those awards are going to be physical, which means we'll either have to deliver or pick those up or have you pick them up. We'll just kind of have to see how it's going to go, how we're going to be able to do that. The important thing about going to the virtual expo is first select some teams to go to the World Festival held in Houston. So first RGV is going to say, go to the expo, and that's what's going to qualify you as an advance. Now, last year, what happened is first randomly selected teams that had gone to expos to advance. So it's not a competition, I did better. It's a random selection. But you have to go to Expo to get that lottery ticket.
Can I ask a question?
So Yolanda?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no
Bethany.
immediate questions. I'm gonna,
So
if you advance the slide,
my
Jason,
team did get
we'll
the
go to the registration.
And so is there any chance that because that happened that we would get another ticket this year since that happened last year to like compensate?
HQ has provided guidance on that, and they said that unfortunately, because last year was canceled because of COVID, this year we're just starting over as far as advancement. Now, that does not mean that your team can't travel, at least as an ambassador or the one that went last year. And I think that's something that you know, I would be happy to talk to Dr. Cavazos about that on your behalf.
Okay.
To see if maybe we can get you to go as an ambassador role, not necessarily compete, but take your kids to celebrate. Because there's so much going on there that I would hate for y'all to miss that opportunity. But again, we'll have to see how that is, you know, after we can get through the winter.
Okay.
Because there's just so many unknowns, right? So
Right,
Bethany, please stay in contact with me. And I can't make any promises, but I don't have a problem with talking to Dr. Cavazos and seeing if there's a way that we can get y'all, because y'all did earn it last year, to see if we can get y'all to go this year. It wouldn't be to compete because HQ has already said that it would not qualify you for this year. But I think the argument could be made to possibly get y'all there as an ambassador to celebrate what you earned last year. Okay.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay,
Okay,
Yolanda.
Jason, next slide. Okay, there it is. So as you can see on the screen, registration is 2 steps. You must register nationally through firstinspires.org, and the link is there. The cost is $117 because the kit itself, the PlayMakers Explore set, the Inspire set that was called before, is $99, but you have to pay shipping costs of $18. So the total is $117. So the $117 pays for the Explore set, the printed copies of the team meeting guide that is really a really good guide for new teams. And it includes the engineering notebooks that each child can have. If you already have a We Do 2.0, you may use it again, which is a big advantage of the LEGO programs. If you do not have one, then the cost is $220 because the cost of shipping is $15. So once you're registered there, you will get your team number, and you can go to the next slide. Next slide, there. Then you can go to the portal for firstrgv.org. By clicking on register, this gives you access to the newsletter. And the newsletter has all the information you need about any more training, any kind of maybe a scrimmage if one is held, which we really don't know right now. Any information, any requests for help, and you can register. The way the portal is set up, you can register more than one team. I can't click on it from here, but Jason can if he wants to take a picture of it, or I think it's on, actually it's on the next slide. There. So this is the portal, and as you can see, it has the actual kickoff video, which we did not show at the beginning, and it has the challenge set, team member, and if you scroll down on that web page, it will also give you registration for more than just one team. So if you're working with one school and they have more than one team, you can do all the registration at one time. The Expo fee for the virtual Expo will be $50, which will be paid to firstrgv.org after the dates are set and everything else is finalized. Okay. Next question. There. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay. We'll have this on the slide, so they'll be available to you. There are some video resources on YouTube.
Ahorita lo mando con mi hija.
Excellent. So the season launch video, you can watch that. The Explore kit, the FLL Explore down here was the lady that we did run that video for that talked about everything. And if you click the slides one more time, please. So there's the portal again, log on for coaches resources, and also that generic email for First RGV. So any kind of question can go there. They'll make sure it gets to the right person. And now, since I spoke more than Yolanda, any hard questions she will be happy to take.
I like that.
So you can either type your question in the chat box, or if you want to raise your hand.
Or you can just unmute yourself. There's not that many of us. Y'all can also just unmute
That's
yourself if you like. Whatever works best.
And we will feel bad if there's not at least one or two questions.
Come on, Yoelia. I know you've got some questions.
Actually, I did a great job. I really summarized everything. I'm just trying to think if y'all left something out, but it doesn't appear to be. We were trying to, I had to mute here. We were trying to get one of our other coaches and get into the session, but it looks like we're almost done.
Yeah, just one thing that I would like to clarify though, the Expo will not be in January. The Expos, even the virtual ones, will be probably in April. We will have a virtual scrimmage, and the virtual scrimmage will be designed to kind of shake out how we're going to use Zoom to get this done. So we will encourage the teams to come to the virtual scrimmage. So then that way the coaches, all of you, will be comfortable with the process of doing an Expo online. And again, we know this isn't ideal, but we're going to get through this. And the reason we're doing this is to make sure that we have this resource available to the students, because they deserve it. And I know they're going stir crazy looking for things to do. So we appreciate you tolerating the adjusted format this year. And again, we have a lot of resources out there that can help you. All of our Vistas have Zoom access. We have Google Classrooms for ourselves. So if there is anything that we can do to help, we will gladly help you. You are definitely not alone. So we know you have a lot on your plate. So if you're struggling with trying to get the WeDo 2 to move and you're having problems, just stop, shoot us an email. We'll schedule a date and time. We'll get together and we'll help solve those problems. That's really all I've got. So if there's not any other questions or if nothing else from Joseph or Yolanda, we'll go ahead and mark this one as done for today. This is not goodbye. Again, if you need us, reach out to us. Please register your team with First Inspires. Do register with First RGV. There is no season registration fee for RGV, but there is an event fee. But we'd like for you to go ahead, if you haven't already registered, register with us. So then that way you will be put on the email blast and we'll keep you up to date with when the expos are going to happen and when the virtual scrimmage is going to happen. So those are very important things.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
While I was off the video here, I noticed that you all did project the wonderful page you all created for all of the resources. Is there any way you can take maybe a few minutes just to kind of go through it a little slower, just to have our coaches know exactly what they can find there, and maybe we can start having virtual meetings and things like that with our students so they can start utilizing some of those resources?
Sure. Let me just get swapped over there real quick. All right. All right, this is the actual website, and you can access these resources by going to First RGV and logging in. I'm already logged in. That's why you see all these different home tabs. Don't freak out. You don't see all that, okay? I'm just logged in as the administrator. But when you go to this page, you get the welcome. Here's some really good information right here about, this is probably stuff that you haven't even thought about. Using your Legos in the classroom. Cross-contamination, how do you store it? How do you disinfect? First has put together a really inclusive guide that talks about the COVID impact to the First LEGO League programs. And this is something you can print out, read it over a glass of sweet tea or something, or a cold glass of water. It walks you through how to register, talks about some of the great things you can do, even though you're socially distancing from your team right now. A little bit about how to do remote collaboration with your students. Don't forget the gracious professionalism check-in, sparking those kind of conversations with your students. So this is a really good guide that's on our website. I'd love to take credit for it, but it was actually produced by HQ. You know, some of the things that your parents may ask, some training modules that are out there. Something else that's available this year is First at Home. There's free resources that students can do at home. So this is the guide that's on our website. It's right here. There is a little video series getting started with First LEGO League Explore. I do highly recommend that you go through these videos. It is the presenters with the awesome accent. There's 3 videos, and they're very useful. Down here on our website, you scroll down, you'll see today's meeting. That's the only thing that's on the official calendar. When you log in here, you'll only see stuff for FLL Junior or FLL Explore, as it's called. You won't see all the FTC stuff, FRC stuff we're doing. This is a specific area for you, so you can stay focused on what's important. The season kickoff video is right here. Here is the challenge document that you can take it, read it. Here is the welcome letter that you're welcome to use to welcome your teammates and send this letter home with the parents. The Explore set video that actually gets into the weeds about the Explore set. Mission build instructions, step-by-step instructions for all the little baggies of Legos that you get. Award specifics, what exactly are we looking for in awards? Again, this is not a competition, but we are going to present awards, and this will tell you what the specifics are on the awards. The reviewer questions, the reviewer sheets, so you'll know exactly what the reviewers are looking for. This is public information. You can share this with your students. And then we have created a PlayMakers participation certificate that you can download, put in the student's name, put in your robotics team information, put your name, sign it kind of deal, and present that to them. You can present that to them so they can share that. There is an important
Zoom meeting and I forgot. Oh,
Jason, can you click on the reviewer?
you already know, right? One
Reviewer sheets?
and scissors.
yes, I sure
line.
can. Hold on.
No line.
I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. There we go. Reviewer sheet. There it is.
There, no, that's right there.
Can y'all
Yeah.
still see that, or does it go to a different tab?
No, we got it.
Okay. All right. So as you can see, this is the sheet, the flow chart of the way it works. I think that's actually supposed to be something a little differently. I'm going to check that just to make sure.
Okay.
But like here are the reviewer questions. So this is
There
what
you
the
go.
reviewers will be talking to your teams about. And again, this is all available on our website, and you're free to grab copies of it. Here are some questions that we've already gotten. How many virtual expos do you have to go to? Can you do your own expos? Yes. I know Mr. Schrubart loves to do expos in Harlingen. Please, 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 as long as it's safe to do so, do your own expos. They're not official, but we would love to support them. We'll help you get their certificates done. If you want ribbons from First, we'll be happy to get those ordered for you. I got to pass on the expense, but whatever we can do to help you, we surely will. We have typically found these to be very useful paired up with science fairs and stuff like that. So those are great opportunities. And that's pretty much about it. And every time we do an update, you'll see down here in the bottom left corner when there's an update. So if you drop by and you say, oh, the last update was September 26th, okay, and you drop by on October 20th, well, if there's not an update down here, then nothing's changed. So everything is still the same. So with that is the website. It's everything that you need to be successful. And hopefully that answered Ms. Nava's question.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. Well, with that, any other questions?
I just have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
As a former educator, I know it's very difficult to do what you're doing with the online training, and some classes are hybrid, so they're doing actual in-class person-to-person classes and doing both. And I know that a lot of these children don't have access to parents who can really help sit down with them and how to work the computer and make sure they're on the computer and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you all are our heroes. We don't want anything else taken away from our kids. They've already lost so much last year. And even though it's a little thing, FLL is a big thing to some of these, especially to STEM education. I've been a STEM educator for quite a long time, and I really admire what y'all are doing. Just keep up the good work and be sure and call on First RGV. They will be there to help you. If not, let me know about it and I will jump on someone's butt.
Yes, thank you, Miss Board Member. But yes, just to close out, we know things are tough for y'all right now. It's hard to separate classroom time and home time because a lot of y'all are teaching from home still. We're trying to do everything we can to make sure the program's available and that we are a resource. We don't want to be a burden. So please reach out to us if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We've got a lot of planning. If it just all of a sudden the sun comes up and no more COVID, we can easily switch gears and do in person. That's a decision we'll make as a community. It's not a decision I'll make or any one person will make. We will make that together. And that's what First RGV is about. That's why the RGV is there. It's our community. And we'll make those decisions together. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for your time today. Thank you for everything you do. And let's be game changers in 2021. We'll see you soon.